Morning, everybody. Sadly today there won't be a running video, but I thought to honor it by making the intro of this video while running, so this way we get both words, something like that. So if you are pretty impatient, you have things to do, you cannot watch 35-minute video of me explaining kind of my thought process and how I recognize one of the biggest false beliefs that there is in this game right now, in the info space, but also in life overall. Because we all live with that false belief in our mind, just that we're unconscious of it. And we get to these points in life when we decide that, maybe I should do this. It's just a feeling you get. But make sure you don't mistake feeling for intuition. Gut feeling is a real thing. You should listen to it, but there's a fine line between gut feeling and feelings, emotions. So enjoy this beautiful view, and enjoy the video as well, because I'm going pretty in depth with it. And also, if you like this type of videos, let me know and I'll do more of them in the future. I'll also do one tomorrow for my journey, in a way, to give you some context on me, some more context on me, because probably there are other people who just think I'm doing motivational stuff and I'm trying to get the coaches to speak something. I will go in depth tomorrow with that video about my journey, my purpose, what I love to do, and what I'll keep on doing. So that being said, see you tomorrow. But now enjoy this video and let me know what you think about it in the comments.
Why don't we stop buying emotionally? But first, let me ask you this, which is an even better question. Why don't we stop selling emotionally? Because this way we are not expecting people to buy into us emotionally. Therefore, we ourselves won't buy emotionally, because it's simply not resonating with our mindset, with our way of thinking, with our vision, with these values that we have. So why don't we stop selling emotionally, and why don't we stop buying emotionally, which basically is just a cause of it? Because I believe you cannot just sell emotionally and also buy I believe you cannot sell not emotionally and buy emotionally. I mean, this doesn't necessarily make sense, but I just had to say this because I've been thinking about it lately, of how the whole info space has been for the past 3 or 4 years, maybe even more. But the thing is, I'm not new to this space. I'm not new, but obviously I don't have any actual game as in reps. I don't have a client that I can use for case study or anything, but what I do have instead is my mind. What I do have are my experiences that I've gathered throughout my whole years of lifetime. I'm 23 years old right now, so I managed to gather a lot of knowledge. But not only that, because we all gather knowledge, but not so many of us also understand how to look deeper into that knowledge, so that we could find all these ways, all these reasons. Why did it happen like that? Why did I go in that direction at that very moment, in that way? What made me think of that? What made me decide that? So I had always this passion for learning things, for not learning as in I always in my school, like in any school I've been in, high school and even university, I was the one that would not learn. Basically, I never enjoyed learning. I never want to learn. I never found this thing like the main, the main aspect for me. I was mostly going to school for socializing, gathering source of experience, and also one part of me was kind of trying to follow my parents' word, my other relatives, that it's normal, like, to go to school. It's something that each and every one of us has to do, and our kids as well. But I'll talk about this more in tomorrow's video, which will actually be for you the day after tomorrow. But still, since I'm going to post it, you are going to see it on Thursday, and I'm going to post Friday the journey, my story, my journey, so you can kind of understand more where I'm coming from. But that aside, I just want to talk today about this. Also, don't be afraid of my shirt. It's just it's stained from, I had this solution that I would use at nighttime for getting rid of my acne, so yeah, maybe that's why it looks like that. It's I swear I didn't spill anything on me, not food, not anything, but getting straight to the point, not yapping anymore. We need to stop, we as coaches, we as people in the info space that want to build something long lasting and valuable, we need to stop selling emotionally. Once we do that, we will attract, obviously, high quality people that will really want to implement our ideas, our services, our teachings, and also we will find ourselves more fulfilled with what we're doing. Because right now, a lot of these coaches, a lot of these people in this space are selling emotionally, and I'm not saying all of them fully emotionally. There are some that kind of have some value but still sell it emotionally because they do not wanna, they're not capable of, maybe they're not capable of putting out the whole value that they've gathered, because that's the truth. The results don't matter, guys. The results don't matter. The information doesn't matter. I mean, would it make a difference if right now I'll film this video and I'll come and say to you, I've made 1 million euros in growth operating by now, so buy my course because I know how to make 1 million euros in growth operating? I don't know, maybe some would, but that would obviously mean that you bought into me emotionally, not mentally, not rationally, not reasoning on it and understanding, asking yourself, well, okay, you generated 1 million euros. Congrats to you, buddy, but how do I know you can help me the same way that you've managed to help yourself? So the point that I want to make is that a lot of us think that, it's nice to go through these events that we live, that we experience. And trust me, stay with me. I don't want you to just skip this video. If you're skipping it and you're not patient enough with it, just do this now, please. Do this now. If you're still here and you think you might skip it later, I'm not going to keep it too long, but I want you to I want to make sure that you go throughout the whole video understanding what I'm talking about, because if you're just in a rush to finish it, to just go and do the next thing, it's not going to stay with you. It's not going to stick with you, what I'm trying to say here. So basically, we go through all these experiences, and it all ties, obviously, it all ties to let's say making money with paid ads, making money with content operating, like doing all these strategies for content, for personal brands, growing them. Or maybe, who knows, high ticket sales. We go into high ticket sales and we generate so many sales for info program, for coaching programs, whatever, high ticket. Trading, we learn trading, we know how to do trading, and Now we are teaching that, but we generated all these amazing results in whatever it is that we managed to, like any of these niches and others as well, not limiting to this. But we don't really have the proper framework of our mental discipline, our mental evolution, literally our mental effort that has been put in this journey. Everybody will just see, okay, this guy took some notes, wrote something down, did some work, managed to get some results for his clients, managed to get paid, managed to get recommended to others. So basically that's how he got to 1 million euros, right? But how does that help you in any way? I mean, it's just like you would watch, I don't know, like the most plain PDF file you will ever find that is full of information, but that doesn't help you with anything. You can try to put your mind to work and just read all of that. You can put your mind to just try to memorize all the information in there, but it's not going to do anything for you, is it now? Obviously, maybe if you digest it more, if you actually manage to, put yourself without the help of the coach, because the coach is useless basically. If he sold you emotionally and he just gave you some piece of information, we have to come to terms with it that coach is useless. Is useless. Just handed you this framework and said, you know what, we'll hop on a one-on-one call every week, and you ask me what didn't work, what questions do you have, and I'll talk you through them, okay? But what questions could you even have in the first place if you literally don't understand it? But let's say that you maybe have some questions. That guy, if that's all that he can offer to you, he won't even be able to answer to you properly to those answers. Maybe he'll just try to say something that in sales, literally guys, trust me, listen very carefully with this one, because if you know sales, you can make anybody on this earth think whatever you want them to think. It's that simple. It's that simple, but it shouldn't be like that, because it's supposed that we have morals. We as humans, we have morals, we have values that we stick to, we have integrity, and we do not break those just for money, just for these rewards, just, to make others, buy into us. This is not moral. This is not right. Not necessarily if you're a Christian or not, if you believe in God or not. This, at its core, is not right for us humans. We do not have to act like that. But obviously it all ties with Christianity, with being afraid of God, living by His word, not just tricking your mind into thinking that, oh, I live by God's word, therefore I can do whatever I want. Pay attention, guys, because that is the satanic law. That is the satanic law of do whatever you want. That's what Satan says to all of us. Because once you say that to yourself, you absolutely have no limits, which is good, but you also don't know how to discern whether something is right or wrong. And you get to this level where you trick yourself that everything that I do is right because God wants this for me, and therefore everything is right. But how do you know that God is 100% right with everything that you're doing, especially when in high ticket sales you play with people's minds, and you should not be able to play with people's minds. I mean, you should be able to, but you shouldn't do that. You should have this responsibility of trying to actually leverage this skill in order to understand them better, to see if there's actually a fit. Not just to try to close every single sale in order to get your commission and pack your bags after that, right? Move on to the next offer. And yeah, basically, we go through all these experiences, and we do not develop this understanding of the patterns that made us choose the things we chose, the things we chosen, and the actions that we acted on, the decisions we acted on. That basically, I'm referring to the decision-making process. Obviously, your thought process, because all of us have this thought process going on with our days. It's something that either you're aware of it and you understand it by now, or you're still in the dark and you think that everything is just going on autopilot and everything will just come, fate. Just like Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate, because you're unaware of the patterns inside yourself. So you think that everything is just luck or, water. Another thing that I want to touch on, because a lot of us heard that Bruce Lee quote, "Be like water," and that is so deep. And I want you to stay focused right now when I'm breaking it down for you, because this is one of the many, not one of the many, one of the biggest false beliefs everybody has, not just coaches, not just us in the info space, but everybody has this false belief of thinking, of understanding wrong the concept behind flowing like water. Flowing like water means to actually flow through things in your life. But how do you do that now? That is the real question. How do I manage to move through all these things that are happening in my life, through all these situations, through all my emotions every day? Because that's also a big factor that comes into play with sorry, I'm just trying not to close my my laptop. My MacBook is going into sleep mode, and I want to see my video after it's being posted, so I know it's right. I just posted the video that you might have seen yesterday, or you'll see it today. Stick with me and you might gain something valuable. If you did not watch it, go and watch it, because it's a pretty wise video. Like, it's not that deep, but it also is pretty deep. You just have to watch through it and bear with me running, and just pay attention to that one as well. Actually, pay attention to all my videos, because in each and every one of those videos I'm trying to put out something valuable so that you can understand, either in different perspectives, or just as plain as it is for you to understand. Maybe it's the standard way. But flow like water, be like water. That's what Bruce Lee said. And every motivation page on Instagram, every coach, literally every single human on this earth has heard that quote at least once, and maybe posted to their story a few times to different contexts. The thing is, we did not understand it properly. Why? Because us as humans, we go through all these emotions every day. Emotions, there's this concept around emotions, energy in motion, and it's basically that. I also broke down this one in one of my other videos while running, so you should go there and try to find that one. I can't remember right now which one was it, but go and watch the whole concept behind emotions. It's there in one of these videos. But emotions are our main enemy when it comes to making the right decisions, when it comes to taking the right actions in our life to go toward our goals. Because there are all these emotions around us at every single moment. I can right now have an emotion that says, I see how the minutes are going up on this video, and I could say, you know what, fuck this, let's shut this video off and make another one. That's an emotion. You have to understand where that emotion comes from, what state, and you have to understand why is that there even in the first place, so that you can dig deeper, understand yourself better, and know how you can leverage that, how you can implement that in future scenarios, future similar scenarios where you might meet again with this emotion. There are similar emotions always around us, but just through different perspectives, through all these different lenses. And our mission is to just understand how to discern when it's an emotion, to not let ourselves guided by that emotion. Now, a lot of people might think that, and even myself included, I was thinking this, and I was so convinced into it last year and also in the beginning of this year, that flow like water, be like water. What did Bruce Lee meant with that? What he was trying to say with it? And I thought that he was talking about, you know, having this intuition, which is obviously a good thing, having the gut feeling, but there's also a fine line between your gut feeling and your emotions. You have to understand when to use your gut feeling, when your gut feeling comes into play, and when your emotions try to make themselves heard by your brain, by your mind, by you. And I was basically thinking that whenever I feel something, I should just go with it. I should go and do that. I should let myself be defined by that emotion, which, keep in mind that at that time I was not aware that that is just an emotion. I was feeling that maybe this is the road, this is my calling, my calling inside of me. And let me just give you this pathetic example that sits in my mind and burns my soul every single time I think of it, but not in a regretful way. Like, I'm not regretting it. God forbids. I'm not regretting anything, any choice by now. But when I'm looking back at it, it's such a stupid bullshit excuse and view of life. And I was basically using this be like water, flow like water, just as an excuse, just as a front, as a cover for that action that was guided by emotions. Because it was Sunday, I would have a lot of work to get taken care of. I would obviously go to church in the morning from 10 to 12 p.m., 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then I would go home with my car. But to go home, I have to go on this road that kind of always, I love it. I love that road. I love driving in the city a lot, especially with music, with house music. So I would go on the road that I have to take right to go toward my home. I could go front to discover the city more, to just, chill and drive, and also left to do the same thing. And every single time I would just be like, let's just take a little tour around the city to enjoy a bit this sunny day. It's a sunny day. It's a lot of people are outside. Let's just turn up the music and go and enjoy a bit ourselves, because be like water. You have to flow like water. You have to go through these moments like water. Water would not limit itself and would say, no, don't do that, don't go there, right? Water would say, be like water, just flow through things. But here is the twist, guys. Here is the twist, because I would spend 1 hour, 2 hours maybe just walking through the whole city, because I would not get tired of it. And I would keep on saying, you know what, maybe I still have to go a little bit more to just master my be like water flow state. Can you see how my mind, how our minds are so crazy, so evilish, so they don't have any idea, they don't actually have any reasoning. We ourselves do the reasoning. Our mind just stores all the information we gathered, stores every single aspect that there is in our life surrounding us, but what we manage to do with that information is what it defines our action. And when we let our mind guide us, It will just use emotions. It will just use everything that's around it, and will make up all these stupid stories, all these stupid excuses, so that therefore, ultimately, we will think that this is how it should be. This is the right choice. And obviously, the same for Be Like Water. You would think that if you feel like, wasting a little bit more time, now for some context, to put you in the picture, I'm working every day about 14 to 16 hours a day. I'm eating and doing anything else like 1 hour, max 2 hours, let's say. If I'm doing that 2 hours, I'm just, working 15 hours, something like that. And I still feel like I don't have enough. I don't have enough time to get what I have to do done. What I have to do, I don't have enough time to get it done. And in those times, it was not so long ago. It was 1 month ago, something like that. 1 month ago, I literally just shifted most of my false beliefs that were dictating my actions, this included. And I would just waste so much time with this excuse of like, you know what, it's fine. We can work 2 deep hours, right? This is for another video. I want to also break this concept of working 4 hours deep is better than 12 hours a day, which is a complete bullshit. I'll tell you this from now, but I will make another video on this aspect alone because it's such a stupid, it's such another byproduct of the whole bullshit that there is in the info space right now. Because everybody just tries to sell emotion, and all these guys try to look smart, saying different things, and they go to like, oh, working 4 hours deep, guys, it's so much better than 12 hours because you are focused. In 12 hours you waste a lot of time. Motherfucker, if I'm using the same intensity in those 4 hours, why would I not triple that same intensity to get some more work done, right? But I don't want to get into that because it's a deep rabbit hole and I want to break it down properly on another video. Getting back to Be Like Water, like Bruce Lee. Come on guys, focus, stay with me now, because I don't want to lose you. It's just a little bit longer, just a little bit. 5 more minutes, please. Like, trust me, 5 more minutes and we're wrapping it up. But I realized that how you should actually act on Be Like Water, Flow Like Water, you do not have to focus your actions on your emotions, right? We already touched on that. It's nothing new. You're probably like now ready to just skip this video. You're like, okay, you already said that, man. Just get to the point and leave me with this bullshit. Trust me, I'm building onto something. So just have a little bit more patience. Flow like water, we know that we have to just ignore emotions. We have to master our decision-making process. But picture water, because everybody's using this example. You can put water in every single glass, in every single shape of glass, different shape, all right? You can put it on the ground. You can do whatever you want with it. It will take its shape, right? It will adapt to its environment, to its situations. It will adapt. So Be Like Water, until now, sounds like you have to adapt to your situations, right? It's clear enough. But it does not say clearly how you should adapt to these situations. Should you adapt by just drifting away from your goals like I did? Like I would just go and drive my car more and just waste more time thinking that, I just have to go with it. I just have to adapt to my situation, to my environment. Or was that actually just a way of changing the whole properties of water in the first place? Did you hear what I say? I was changing the properties of the water. Can you understand what I'm saying right now? Because we're putting some water in a glass, okay? And it takes its shape. So it adapted to that glass, okay? But what it did not do, it's that the water did not became, glass. It did not change its properties to like match the glass around it. It simply just adapted its action, its purpose. It adapted its purpose to that situation. You're putting it in a glass, it takes the shape of the glass. You turn it in the ground, you just drop it in the ground, it does not become ground, it doesn't become earth. It goes and it fulfills its purpose. It goes and hydrates the earth, the plants, the flowers, whatever it is. It still follows its purpose. So the whole point of be like water, flow like water phrase that goes online these days is not that you should just adapt to your emotions and let yourself take action guided by emotions, but you should observe your emotions, you should be aware of them and still fulfill your purpose. Go and do it. Chase your goal, chase your dream, chase the thing that the desired outcome that you plan for yourself, for your future self. Emotions are the glass, okay? Now, if you let yourself guided by emotions, it would mean that obviously your water changed its properties. It's changed its properties, so it's not water anymore. Its purpose was lost in the process. Now it's just emotion, it's pure emotion, and you think that, oh well, my water has adapted to these situations, to these glasses. It's now just flowing like water, when in fact it just changed all of its properties. Instead of trying to understand when an emotion comes your way, how to adapt and go away from that, just ignore that emotion. Not like closing your eyes, your ears, and this is not real, these emotions do not exist. Don't cancel them, but you're supposed to observe them to understand where they're coming in the first place, and to be fully aware that your actions are not defined by your emotions, that you have to take the actions that you do not feel, the actions that you have to take in order to get yourself to the goal that you plan to achieve. If you let your actions be guided, directed by your emotions, you'll always be in this downward spiral of like, okay, maybe today I didn't wake up because my emotions were telling me to just sleep a little bit more. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal, right? But who knows? Maybe in 1 week's time, 2 weeks time, your emotions will start telling you, what, just stop working for today. Just take a break for the whole day or the whole weekend. You have to rest a bit more, to have fun, to enjoy life, enjoy the moment, and you let your actions directed by these emotions, which is a toxic thing for us, especially us as coaches in this space, people who are trying to put out as much value as we can in the info space these days. We need to understand our actions shall not be defined by our emotions. Flow like water, yes. Be like water, yes. But do not change your water's properties. Do not let your water become the glass. Do not let your actions become the emotions. Let your action adapt. Let your actions adapt to your emotions. Not in a way that your actions become emotions, but in a way that your actions are still going through them. Your emotions are coming like that. Left, right, up, down. But you're still going through them like water. You're flowing to them. Water keeps its properties in any glass you'd put it. Even in the earth, if you put it down in the earth, it would still fulfill its properties, its purpose. That's the same that we have to do, guys. That's the same we need to keep in our mind, to follow our everyday purpose, our lifelong purpose, and to not let our actions be guided by emotions. This ties strongly with what I said in the beginning of not selling emotionally anymore, to stop selling emotionally, and obviously ultimately we'll stop, ultimately we will stop buying ourselves emotionally. Once we stop selling emotionally, we will also gather high quality people that are fully aware of their decision making process, their thought process, and what they actually need to do in order to achieve success. And we will also become more capable of teaching the things that we have to teach, of just evolving furthermore, because we are not stopping ourselves from evolving. When we are teaching our guys, we also learn more from their perspective. We also learn more by trying to adapt our teachings to their perspective, to their ways of living life. So stop selling emotionally. You will ultimately stop buying emotionally. This way you will also gather high quality clients that are not just looking for the next emotional thing that would ruin or that will make or break their path towards success. And always remember this saying of Bruce Lee: be like water, flow like water, but not in a way that you have to let your actions be defined by your emotions, but rather you have to take your actions, no matter the emotions, no matter how many of them are, no matter the intensity of those emotions, you have to take your actions and just keep them going. Adjust them in order to fill the glass. Even if the glass breaks, make sure your water is still going somewhere. Don't just waste it, okay? Always be prepared for it. And you can only do these things, you can only achieve these things once you start observing yourself better on deeper layers. When you start observing yourselves on all of your patterns. Develop this pattern recognition skill, guys. This is not something mystical, it's not something spiritual, something woo-woo, it's something real, psychological stuff that goes in our brain. That's how our mind works. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that our mind stores so many information, but we do not have to let it decide on its own. We have to use that information to leverage all the experience it has stored inside of it and be able to discern through these emotions, through these situations, to make sure that our actions do not get defined by our emotions and that our actions still fulfill our ultimate purpose. That said, 36 minutes, maybe with the intro that I'll do, that you already seen. It'll be like 40 minutes, but come on, 40 minutes of pure value, I'd say. Hope I managed to help you get some value out of it. Sorry for my chair just making all these sounds. You will see in tomorrow's video, like Friday video of my journey, where I'll just walk you through all my journey. You'll understand more about everything that you've seen right now in this frame. Everything is special, everything is intentional. There's nothing random in what I'm doing, guys. Literally nothing is random. But I'm not obsessed with control. I'm obsessed with just making sure I take care of my actions. I guide every one of my action toward a certain goal. I make sure that my actions serve my purpose, fulfill my purpose, my desired outcome. But you'll see more about that on the next one. So yeah, that being said, what can I say? Take care and make sure to observe yourselves better on the deeper layers. Do not sleep on this. Do not lack this observation thinking that somebody else will do it for you. Nobody will. Somebody will just make sure that you probably see the perfect framework, but that would not lead to any valuable outcome. Trust me.